It's been 1 week since Charles Oliveira submitted Mateusz Gamrot in round 2 at UFC Brazil last week. And now I think it's finally safe to say, I think we could finally all agree that Ilia Topuria is him. He is a force to be reckoned with, and it's going to be very hard to defeat him. Very hard to defeat him. And we can finally stop saying he's fighting washed fighters. I am sick of that narrative. And I hate when people say it. It just makes me really pissed off. And I'm going to go through each and one of those fights, the Volk fight, the Holloway fight, and the Oliveira fight, and explain why those fighters were not washed. So let's just get into it. Alexander Volkanovski versus Ilia Topuria. This fight, out of all three of them, you can make a strong case that, Volk wasn't himself. People can make a strong case that I'm not gonna completely argue with him. This one's more of like I'll be okay with their opinions. I'll be okay with what they say. Because this fight was more like you can make more of a case about that. So basically what happened was Ilia Topuria, and before this fight happened, I think it was at UFC 298. 4 months prior, Alexander Volkanovski fought Islam Makhachev. Everyone knows this. He got KO'd and then made a quick turnaround to this card to fight Topuria. He cut down to 145 after just getting KO'd. And yeah, he ended up getting KO'd in this fight too by Topuria. But here's the thing though, in my opinion, what I remember in this fight is Alexander Volkanovski looked good. He looked great. I thought he looked like his usual self. He was winning the first 2 rounds. I thought he was outstriking Ilia in the exchanges. I thought he was doing great until he got caught with that KO blow at the end of round 2. And yeah, some people will say that's due to the factor of getting KO'd 4 months prior. But you know what? In my opinion, that's just not the case. People will act like if he was in his prime, he would have just gotten like wobbled. Like they're acting like he wouldn't have gone down like flatline from that. Yes, he would have. Alexander Volkanovski would have gotten flatlined by that shot any time of his career. I don't care what anyone says. That is a KO blow that no one will survive from. And I absolutely hate that. Okay, people just take away that KO win by Ilia. Like it would have gotten him. It would have gotten. He would have gotten the KO over him like that any time of his career. Okay, and yeah, I can admit, like, did he have is this the best time to beat Volkanovski? No, it's probably not, because the KO for a few months back. But still, I put this as an all-time win because I think some people forget how good Alexander Volkanovski actually looked in this fight until he got KO'd. And yeah, I think just really bad timing because most fans thought he was gonna just get chinned at the round because he just got KO'd. So really bad timing. But like other than that, I think this is still a great win. He still looked like himself until the KO, and then a year later, fought Diego Lopez and looked incredible and won after a war with him. And we saw what Diego Lopez did to Gene Silva. We saw what he did to him. He destroyed Gene Silva, and Volkanovski literally just went to war with that guy and won the belt back. Alexander Volkanovski is not washed. I'd just say bad timing for the win by Ilia, just bad timing. But he fought a good Volkanovski, and yeah, Volkanovski was not washed. I don't like when people say that. This is a good win by Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway. Now this one is just major cope. This one just pisses me off. This one makes me mad. And this is just discrediting Ilia at its finest. Max Holloway is 32 years old. He's 32 years of age. Not only just 32, but also started his career early. Tons of experience entering his fighting prime. And was probably the best version of himself going into this fight. And people literally say he's washed all of a sudden. But you know what's crazy though? In the build up to this fight, people were literally saying Max Holloway was a stylistic nightmare for Ilia and would beat him and would destroy him. I was on that bandwagon as well. I thought Max Holloway was going to defeat Ilia Topuria. I thought he was going to win the belt against him. He was going to beat him. I thought it was a bad stylistic matchup for him. And yeah, Ilia Topuria shocked me. He KO'd him. But what I took from that fight is Ilia Topuria. I mean, Max Holloway was not washed. That was a great Max Holloway. And I was actually like shocked. I'm like, wow, Ilia just KO'd him. No one's ever even KO'd Holloway before. He fought guys like Connor and Dustin, like two of the best KO artists in the sport, they couldn't even get him out. Topuria just flatline KO'd him in round 3. And people will discredit it. They'll take that win away from him. Even though Max Holloway was going into that fight as, oh yeah, they're going to the narrative. They're using this narrative that Max Holloway would go in and destroy him, which I thought he would as well. I thought he was going to beat Ilia. And he was coming off the best 3 wins of his. The 3-fight win streak he had was great. Great win against Arnold Allen, great knockout against the Korean Zombie, and then knockout against Justin Gaethje, which people thought he was going to lose. And I thought Max Holloway was going to win that. I honestly thought that. I said he was going to beat Gaethje. But yeah, incredible 3-fight win streak. 32 years of age, just hitting his fighting prime, looking good. Just like in the first 2 rounds, he looked incredible in the first 2 rounds. I had him winning, and then Ilia just got him. He just wobbled him in the beginning of round 3, and then boom, KO'd him at the end. I mean, the first minute of, I think it was like a minute and a half around 3. Yeah, he got him around there. He retained his belt. But people will literally say that Max Holloway is why they do this thing with Jose Aldo. They do this with Jose Aldo as well. When Jose Aldo lost to Alexander Volkanovski, they always say, "Oh yeah, he's washed. Jose Aldo's washed." No, he's not. Alexander Volkanovski just levels above Jose Aldo. Okay, Jose Aldo is literally in his fighting prime. Every time Aldo fought someone like higher level than him, he just lost. He just lost. That's how it is. When they were elite level, he just lost. And I'm not taking that away from him. Those are really good fighters he lost to, but still, he was in his fighting prime when he fought Volk, and it's crazy to me. Like every time a fighter loses, they're just all of a sudden not in their prime anymore, and it's crazy to me. But yeah, this one really pissed me off because Max Holloway was literally just entering his fighting prime. And then once he loses, he's not in his prime. And then all of a sudden, like they treat him like they didn't choose Max to destroy him, and they're just salty about that. So yeah, I don't know. And then he came back a year again. He came back, I think, how many months later? 9 months later, and then defeated Dustin Poirier for the BMF belt. Looked good. So yeah, this one out of the 3, this one is just cope. This one is just fans just hating on Ilia. It's just ridiculous to me. This one should not even, Max Holloway should not even be near the word washed. It's just crazy to me. So yeah, like I said in the beginning of the video, last weekend, Charles Oliveira submitted Mateusz Gamrot in round 2, and oh my god, just how good is Ilia, man? People don't really, people, like, how good is Ilia? KOing him in the first 2 minutes, making it look easy. It was great, man. It was great. I'm going to be honest with you. I knew Ilia Topuria was going to go into this fight knocking out Charles Oliveira in round 1 or 2. I didn't think he'd do it that early. He did end up getting him in round 1, like 2 minutes. And I thought it'd be like, the end of round 1, like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. But, he got him early, relatively early. And I knew it was just going to happen. I think everybody should have known it was going to happen too. Not because Oliveira was in the decline, because he did get a win over Michael Chandler, but he was coming off a win. And I think people should have realized that people should have just, a lot of people did know, but like people should have just been ready for it to happen. A lot of people said that, oh yeah, he was going to KO Oliveira, but then right after, like, oh yeah, Oliveira's now all of a sudden washed. Like, no. Look at Charles Oliveira's title. Look at his title run. He got dropped by everyone left and right. Michael Chandler literally dropped him in their first fight. Justin Gaethje dropped him. Dustin Poirier dropped him. He was dropped by everyone. Islam Makhachev dropped him in their fight. He was getting dropped by everyone. That's why I knew going into this fight, he would get KO'd, get flatline KO'd by Ilia. I knew that would happen. If he's getting dropped by everyone, the KO power from Ilia, he's not surviving. I knew it was going to be done. I didn't think Oliveira actually stood a chance against him. I was a locked-in pick, but I didn't think he was washed though. I just thought the KO, he just wouldn't be able to take the KO power of Ilia. But no, but some people will also say Oliveira was washed and just completely forget about his past fights. And yeah, it's just really annoying. But he beat Gamrot last week in impressive performance. he looked great, Charles Oliveira. And this shows right here he is not washed. He's still a high level fighter. And yeah. So yeah, that's the end of my video here. I I'm just sick of this narrative. I'm just sick of all these fans, all these Ilia haters hating on him because he has a high ego. Because if you're Ilia, right? How can you not have a high ego? You're KOing everyone. You're undefeated. You're double champ at 28, and people hate him for it. And they say his opponents are washed because they just don't like him. These are possibly the three best wins a fighter can ever have in a row. These all-time greats. And I'm pissed off discrediting him, saying that they're washed. But anyways, guys, that's the video. That's the end of my video today. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.